something about justice on a Sunday just tastes so good. Let me start by saying this is America, and don't you tread on me. So basically, this morning I'm doing my thing, searching for bikes. I'll give you a quick breakdown, and then I'm gonna let TJ tell you the story because it was his bike. I'm looking for bikes. I find a deal, cheap deal on a bike, and I'm skeptical. So I look through the local stuff to see if I see any red flags, and I see an ad saying it got stolen last night, 5 a.m. So apparently these guys broke into this old boy's garage and stole 2 KLXs in the middle of the night and put one of them online. So I, ran some game on them or whatever, delayed them, lured them out, set a little trap, and victory tastes pretty good. And let me look at you guys out there. That easy come up, don't go for that. Don't be stealing people's shit. Don't steal people's shit, you guys. That's not what it's all about. This is America. We're in America. And you're not gonna be free for long acting like that. Those old boys are looking at burglary of a habitat and fucking stolen property and concealing it by yanking the graphics off and fucking trying to sell it. And then they ran. Then they bolted. So he's gonna tell you the story. Apparently it's pretty action-packed. Maybe I'll tease you guys with a little something here or there, but I've got a couple more for you guys. I'm gonna start because hey, you learn more from the bad ones. He had his stuff locked up. There's nothing he could have done, but I've learned the hard way. Oh, bad boys! What you gonna do? Busted. What's up, you guys? Be sure and like and subscribe.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks, everybody on DFW Pit Bikes for being the lookout. Many of you know, my pit bike and my roommate's pit bike got stolen last night. I live in a really nice part of town in Grapevine, like a gated community complex, 3-story, 2-car garage, and we always keep our, bikes and shit locked up. I get a text this morning from a buddy that lives in the same complex as me around 8 o'clock. He said, hey, dude, your garage is open. So I run down here and the garage was wide open, and both little 110s were gone. Nothing else was touched, which was weird. I said shit, and I called Grapevine PD, got a claim going. Officer met me here 30-ish minutes later. Facebook, start posting around, posting on a couple other pages, and I posted on DFW Pit Bikes. And then the officer actually called me back, and we were talking through some things, and I was getting blown up with Facebook notifications. And it was, Jared and some other guys posting it. I saw a screenshot of an OfferUp ad. So I click on it, and it's my pit bike for sale that was posted at 5 a.m. For $800. And I just had all the graphics ripped off. I had a bunch of, a full set of Vibes decals, graphics. Shout out Vibes decals. On the bike, so it looks like they just ripped all the graphics off and then posted it for like $800. Jared starts messaging the dude. He gets him to, try to meet me. So he gives us an address, and unfortunately it's not his house. It's a gas station. I grabbed my buddy that lives here, and we're both we both like to have our weapons on us. So we get our stuff and head to the first address. And while I'm on my way there, I called Fort Worth Police Department, trying to get an officer on site to meet us there because obviously I can't pursue these guys without an officer there. It takes us about 25 minutes to get there. We park, we're waiting for a cop. See a little red Dodge Avenger that I know I've seen in my apartment complex before. Not that they live here, but they've been in here before. I see him park at the Shell, and we were across the street at Taco Bell. I see him kind of stroll by. He goes through another parking lot, and he comes by us and cracks his window, and you can't see in. He looks at us and then drives back and then parks back at the Shell. Jared's still trying to, stall as much as possible because I had to wait for a cop to get there. An hour goes by, there's still no cop, and then he finally messages Jared and says, hey, my check won't cash at this gas station, meet me at this other location. As soon as he says that, I see that red car back out, and I see him leave to head towards, down where that other location is. So I said, hey, dude, that red car looks really weird. Let's follow him, and let's go to the second address. So we go to the second address, and the guy parks, and they lift open the rear hatch, and my 110's chilling, sideways in the back of this car. So they get it out, and are trying to stall as much as we can. My buddy that I was with called his friend to help us out, and he shows up too. So we kind of have two vehicles that are, you know, waiting for the cop to show up. And finally, when they're about to leave, I call, you know, non-emergency dispatch and say, hey, I made a call like an hour ago. I'm literally watching these guys unload my stolen dirt bike. I have my title with me. They're trying to meet me, but, you know, I need somebody on site to do something. I'm not going to pursue them myself. They leave because they obviously get spooked because we're taking forever, or Jared is taking forever. And, you know, they leave and we start tailing them. We're kind of just cruising through Haltom City, like 121. And, you know, we get on, I forgot what highway that was, and we get off and we're trying to keep our distance, but they start doing some really, you know, evasive maneuvers to try to get away from us, but they weren't going to be able to get away, you know, from what we were in. So we're on the highway, and then they really get spooked because they get on and they get off and they make a right-hand corner, and we're following them now. Like, we're not going to let them leave. And they do some weird shit, and then it's on. And I mean, we're doing 80 on 121. We're exiting. We're blowing through stop signs. We get back on the highway. They exit one more time, and they go to do a turnaround, and they jump the curb. And then we're going backwards up the off-ramp. Where, you know, we're basically going the opposite way on the access road of the highway off on 121. And so they duck off into a parking lot that has no, you know, exit. So we kind of try to, you know, block them in, and they bust a donut, blow through this little cardboard or this wooden sign, and they jump back on the access road, go 2 streets down, and then they try to go down a little side street, a little sketchy part of town, but they try to go down this little side street, and they stop, and the passenger tries to jump out and opens the rear hatch to get the bike out to, like, just tell us to have it. And that didn't happen. He basically didn't leave the scene. The passenger didn't. The driver takes off. The other guy hangs with the other passenger. We follow the driver. He goes down the end of the street, ghost rides this Dodge Avenger. It's rolling on the side of the street. The driver jumps out, hops the fence, and basically hid for the rest of the time until the cops got there. The cops got there, found the passenger, and then found the driver. And they weren't in a stolen car, but they were in a car that was registered to not them. So he probably borrowed it from somebody. And we're trying to see if we can get the other pit bike back. It's unfortunate that I wish they would have had both of them. That'd have been awesome. But my roommates didn't get recovered. Mine got recovered. Luckily, I had my title. And whenever I saw that, you know, we were going to try to go pick it up, I grabbed my title. And if I didn't have my title, my bike would have had to gone to the Haltom City yard, and I would have to just go through a bunch of, you know, paperwork and bullshit and go back up there at a later time to get it out, so on and so forth. But yeah, pretty eventful. Shout out to everybody on DFW Pit Bikes. I appreciate, you know, everybody looking out. It sucks to have your shit stolen. It sucks that we're living in a time like this where, you know, a lot of those officers didn't want to take the call because of, you know, just what's going on, the stigma of what, you know, the officers are going through right now, what they're in. It's unfortunate. You know, it kind of sucks that I have to suffer for, you know, something else happening, but, you know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Both guys, you know, going to jail. They're going to get interrogated on Monday because apparently they have multiple, you know, charges against them. Goes to show you that criminals are dumbasses. Don't steal something and post it on OfferUp 2 hours later with half the graphics torn off of it. So the power of Facebook is pretty insane. Can't thank y'all enough. Thanks, Jared. Thanks, everybody, helping me out. Hopefully we find this other pit bike, but in the meantime, I gotta go terminate my lease and go move somewhere else because these dudes know where I live now. So peace out.
So it was a pleasure to help this old dude and get his bike back, and my steak's just gonna taste a little better tonight, guys. That's pretty much it. The thief this morning that was trying to sell this bike not only victimized the person he stole it from, but he tried to make a victim out of me. And you know, I keep my head on a swivel. So he also tried to make a victim out of Blake, because we both seen the bike. I already had to deal with the bike and knew it was hot because I seen the post for it, and Blake messaged me out, dude, look at this bike I'm getting for $500. And I was like, hey, lay off it a little bit, it's stolen, I'm gonna offer him $900, and we gotta bag this guy. But the bottom line is he tried to make a victim out of me, because in any other circumstance, I buy the bike. Next day I find out it's stolen. I'm sitting on stolen property, none the wiser, and I didn't have nothing to do with it. So it's shitty. And it's one of the reasons that everybody's on edge when they buy a bike. So don't be discouraged when they ask you if you have a title, because that's the whole reason why. People take the shit and they sell the shit, and they wouldn't do it if there wasn't a market for it. So the bottom line is he tried to make a victim not only out of the people he burglarized and the home he violated, and the garage he violated, the man cave he fucking stepped up into and somehow got out with his life. The point is that he was going on to burn somebody else. So at the very least, because what I thought would have happened if I would have slept in a little more was, which I was up early, but if I'd have slept in a little more, this bike got posted like 5 a.m. I think I seen it by 6:15. But if I'd have slept in more, Blake would have came over here with his bike and showed it to me and said how he got it for $500, and I'd have had to tell him, bro, that's TJ's bike. I seen a post for it, and it's stolen, and now pretty much we're taking a loss. Because I've bought bikes before, and lots of times he was in town. Sometimes somebody's out of town. It doesn't get reported for weeks. And then I'm sitting on a bike that I've been having fun on, that I upgraded, spent my money on, and then all of a sudden it's the VIN number's reported 2 weeks from now, and I have a stolen motorcycle. And this happened to me twice, and both times I contacted the people that were looking for their bike and gave it to them, and I took a loss. If I'd have bought that bike this morning without doing my research, I'd have took $800 loss. If Blake would have bought that bike, he would have took a $500 loss. That's what I'm trying to say. This guy's not only robbing somebody, but then he's going on and he's trying to rob somebody else. And the sweetest part about it, boys, he had it listed for $1,100. I offered him $8, and he said, I'll take it. I'm fitting to lose my place. I have to. Hey, man, I helped you out, bro. You can kick it in county till you make bail. And in the meantime, you ain't got to worry about bills, none of that shit. Just know that you got off easy when you got prosecuted, because one of these days, somebody's going to break into the wrong house, and it's a whole different 911 call. And they bring the snow shovels for him. So, I'm glad he didn't make me a victim. I'm glad he didn't make Blake a victim. I'm going to give you guys a couple in-depth little stories about what's happened to me, and maybe you guys can learn from this, the experience, just because that, man, sometimes you make a mistake without even knowing it. It's going to be a later video. I'm gonna do them tonight, 3 or 4 of them, and then I'm going to have them so that you guys don't go a week without a video. I apologize for that. Our hard drive shit the bed. It is what it is, guys. I'm not like even Teresa rolled her eyes at that. So I'm organizing talent, and you know, if y'all want the whole truth, it's been piss and rain all week, and you know, I was gonna make y'all a video this morning, but I was too busy doing my Walker Texas Ranger thing, man. These shirts are available, boys. $20 mailed to you. Wait. My wife made them. Is that 20?
Sure.
No, she said, hey, $22 mailed to you. That's going right at the shipping.
Those shirts are limited in quantity, so
They're limited in quantity.
So limited edition.
But we got a few. We got all the sizes right now, and we can slap it out and make it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. For 1,250 subscribers, we got that yesterday. So, hey, preach. Thank you very much. Boys, that's what American grass-fed freedom tastes like right there.
Here we go, pussy.
Happy Father's Day to all the subscribers, the other guys. You're lacking if you ain't picking up dad skills from this dude. So, I mean, I feel bad being family, but you guys be sure and like and subscribe. And happy Father's Day to everybody. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll have you some more videos soon.